All right, this is a how-to video. I'm just looking around to see if we're good. All right, so let's review the stuff that you need. So you need to have one glue each. I have an extra here in case we use it all up. Pair of scissors each. If you can, get the nice ones. If not, the others will do fine. We need some tape, and we need a Zoon balloon gore pattern set. So on this one, make sure that, as you'll be reminded in the video, that you don't cut this last one up until later. Okay, also what you need is materials from your teacher, that would be probably me, is you need 6 sheets of colored tissue. It doesn't matter the color, we just chose to do a variety for this example. So I've got a yellow one, a blue one, a white one, a red one, a white one, and a green one. So that's all we need for this step. Okay, now that we have the materials, let's lay it out correctly. You need a good flat surface. The floor will do. The table was better. So what we're going to do is glue the pieces together. Now we'll do 2 at a time, and we're just going to grab those 2. I'll set these others aside here for just a minute. And the way we want to do this is we want to make 2 super sheets. Notice that we take the hot dog length, that's landscape for those that know what we're talking about, and we're going to glue them together like this. And we want to be very careful to not have any space. So the way that we're going, or not space, but anything that's blank, so that's not glued together, is what we're going to do is work together as a pair going away from each other, and we're going to put 1 thickness of glue down like this, a thickness of a glue stick. You want to make sure it's nice and damp on here. Be very careful not to tear it. If you do tear it, we can fix it later. So once we're all glued down like this, we take the other color, put over top, and press it down firmly so you don't have any holes along the whole way. It really does help to have 2 people. So even if you chose to try to do this one on your own, this is probably a good idea not to. You'll notice that there is a tear here. I'm not going to stress about that till later. I'll show you how to fix it. So we're going to make 3 of these just like this, and we'll call them super sheets. So I'll go ahead and pause the video. We'll get these done and come back to you when we have it done. Okay, we have now done what I call super sheets. So we have 3 super sheets. We put this one together, and then I have the white one here, and I'm going to do it so that the colors alternate if possible, just because I want the pattern to be kind of fun when I get done with it. We want to stack these on top of each other, just like this. And you notice we still have that tear. We're going to see if that has any effect on the stuff later. We'll find out. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is get it ready to make our gore pattern. So we're going to rotate this around so it's between the 2 of us like this. And what works really well is to have both of you put your hands. So Mrs. Runyon, she's going to be mirroring me, and she's going to put her hand down on this side right here, and we're going to both pull up the paper like this. What we're trying to do is get a nice crease in the middle. Go as accurate as we can so we have as much as we can along the edge, and then we go ahead and crease it here. Okay, we'll repeat that again, same thing. Go ahead and fold it over one more time, like this, and just like this here. Okay, now oftentimes this is a good stopping spot, so if you're close to the bell, you can go ahead and fold this up and use it later. I'm going to gently fold this up now, just like this. We'll now work on the pattern and go from there. Okay, I just folded that up and put it away on the side here, so you can see it here. Our next step is to do the pattern. So you've probably received one from me from class. What I'll do is I'll pull the back one off first. It's not a problem, it has a little bit of a hole there. Just pull that off, set it aside, and then we're going to each cut a pattern. And on the pattern it says cut here, and it has other places that doesn't say any cut, so don't cut that part. Just cut where it says cut here, and then leaves these pieces that are long, just like this. And we'll go ahead and cut these up and show you what to do next. So one thing I wanted to point out with this, as we're cutting these, we can make quite a big mess. So get into the habit, if you would please, of as you're cutting your pieces and the discard, that you throw it away so that you have a nice clean surface to work on. Many of you will be working on the floor because you guys are more flexible than we are, and that just works out. Okay, so we'll go ahead and throw these out, and we'll go ahead next. So we have all 4 pieces cut out, and you'll see they're labeled A, B, C, and D. So we'll just use the alphabet, just like we usually do, and we'll do tape. So one person will get them lined up. It's not quite as critical that the line's lined up, but the best thing to have it line up is the edge here so that they're nice and straight. So I'll go ahead and hold it here like this while my partner tapes down the piece like that there, and we'll go ahead and just paste the other side just because it'll keep it together better. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. So let's say A, B, C, so C is next. We'll just go ahead and pull it here. It should be about where those 2 lines line up, like that. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do D as well. And we can tape it on the back side here. I'll help you out here, Mrs. Runyon. There we go. Okay, and we'll go ahead and just do a small piece on those. Tighten them up, and that is the part we're making the gourd pattern. Now the part here, if you follow the instructions, just like it says cut on the cut line. So quite literally, all we have to do is just cut along here. If you happen to be in a classroom, you might talk Mr. Runyon into letting you use the paper cutter. That makes it go real fast, like 1 or 2 cuts, and you're good to go. Otherwise, just use the scissors like this, and you're okay. And on this one, it says fold. So we'll go ahead and fold these in half, and we'll use these later. This will be the mouth piece of our hot air balloon. Okay, we'll just set those aside. Don't lose them. Okay, here's the next part. So this is really important. If you get it on the wrong side, you're going to make a lot of work for yourself. So what we're going to do is look and see where is the fold for the whole thing. And you can see that this is where the fold is not. We want the fold for the whole thing. It's on this side here. Okay, right here. So what we'll do is we'll take this gourd pattern and we'll place it on the paper like this, and then use the paper clips that are provided in your materials list, and we'll just paper clip this down to the tissue. And please don't mutilate these paper clips. They need to be used for classes over and over again. And we'll just use them and then put them back into the box for later use. All right, so that's that next step.
And you always want to check with the teacher to make sure you got it placed right before you start cutting.
That's a really good idea, either with the teacher or with the aide, with somebody that's done it before. Notice that I'm pulling it apart like this. I wouldn't be able to do that if I had it on the wrong side. Now you can either do this on your own, or we can cut this together. We want to cut along the...
Hang on, this is a little bit past this now.
It won't matter.
Okay.
And that's a really great question. If it doesn't quite fit, that's okay. This is designed to be a little bigger than what we need, and so we'll be able to do it. Now, as we're doing this, I'm going to teach you kind of the next lesson. So Mrs. Runyon, if you want to cut, if that side works well for your left hand. Oh, you don't have left-handed scissors.
I always use scissors with my right hand.
Oh, okay. That's right. See, Mrs. Runyon, she's left-handed, and she's learned how to cope with these inferior right-handed stuff. All right, so as we're cutting this, notice we're trying to stay as even as we can along the paper here, along the pattern. Okay, and then we want to save for the top of our balloon one of the large pieces here. I don't know, what color do you think you want to put on the top of it, Mrs. Runyon?
Blue, because we don't have blue on the top.
Okay, so we're gonna do blue, just because we chose it. Now notice that A, this is the top of the balloon, and D is the lowest. So I'm going to, just to help me remember, I'm gonna take a pen and I'm gonna mark it up here. That'll just help us for later on. So I'll do that marking and then we'll go on. So really you just need to save a couple of pieces. We're gonna save some white, some blue, anything that large that we have. And then the rest of this is garbage. We'll just throw it away into the trash. We want to save some pieces in case it tears, because the way we fix this is not with tape. If you do it with tape, just ask some of the past groups, it makes it too heavy, it will just fall down. So we use tissue to repair any holes that might be in this pattern. Okay, now we have our core pattern cut. We can set this aside. You can donate it to another cause or something, maybe give it to another group if they don't want to make their pattern, which is just fine. Okay, so now what we want to do is open our core pattern like this and get to the middle one. There we are. That's the middle one right here. Now the way this works is you take the top piece and you shift it over about the width of a glue stick, about 3/4 of an inch. And then what we will do is we will glue on our sides like we did before, very carefully to overlap and make sure this has plenty. We want to make sure we do this well so we don't have any holes. And so because we want to do this while it's still kind of wet, okay, even if your partner isn't quite done yet, you can start. So I'm going to just fold this over top of it and press it down as I go. If I run into a spot like this, it's already dry, it's that fast. I'm going to put down some more glue so that it's nice and stuck to the place that it needs to be. And if it, we'll kind of check as we go. If it doesn't stick, we need to make sure it sticks down. It's okay if it's crinkly. That's okay. What we don't want is holes. Okay. Are we good?
Yep.
All right, so now we shift it back so it's lined up with that other side. And then here's the way we do this. So now we're going to take this part and fold it in half this way. And then if you have to shift it, we can. But right here, we're going to glue this side and then fold the bottom tissue over top of it. So we'll just keep to that pattern, go back and forth. And my thinking is we'll probably speed this up for this part so you can see every step. So probably stop talking and let it go. Okay, we just keep going back and forth. So now we'll go down to the next available loose piece. There it is. There it is.
Do we have two blues in a row?
We do.
Should
Oh,
we
well.
switch? Should we can
Yeah,
switch in
we
order.
can switch. Let's
Stick a white one.
here.
Oh no, do green because green's what's going to be left on the left. Because of the way it folded.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead. Maybe I'll
Now,
just
this
let
has
this one
the-
be.
The tear,
It's
but
okay.
it'll mostly
Oh
be
yeah, this
feathered.
is really good. So this has the tear that we were worried about before. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little piece of blue right here. Okay, and we're gonna load that up with glue before we try to fix it. And this is how you make a repair. And you just put it right on there, right on the torn part. And then we'll glue over top of that too, so it'll be just fine. So maybe we didn't slow it down. That's okay. Just putting on lots of glue. This one, liberally apply is what we call it, when you put a lot on there. Then go ahead and glue this down, making sure that it's nice and solid all the way. Make sure that there's no loose pieces as we go. That'll save us in the end. And you'll notice down there with Mrs. Runyon's working, might be a little bit, do we need a little bit of, yeah, no, it's fine.
Still sticky.
It's way sticky. And that just took care of that tear. And that's how you make a repair on a tear, is you just put a lot of glue on the thing. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go back the other way. So we're just alternating back and forth, kind of like a seesaw. And we'll just glue each one. And if you run out of glue, just come get some more from me. That's what the glue is for. I guess if you guys want to, you can use the speed up on your video to where you want to see it. That'll be just fine. Okay, then we'll flop back over like this, get down to the next free one. There it is. We'll shift the stack so that it's off. And you saw that we swapped colors. That's just fine. We just didn't want to have the same colors next to each other because we're going for the bonus of having it really good looking. I just made that up. So now I have to give you a bonus. Maybe it's 5 points. I don't know. We'll see. But I want it to look good. Because if it looks good, then it flies well. That's just so cool. Okay. Just like this. Just double check all the way down. Make sure it's all nice and good. Doesn't hurt for you guys to look on each other just to double check yourselves. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead and flop it back. Oh, we're down to the last one. See, there's only one left. So here's the trick. Here's what we do. We take this part here and just carefully go this way because you know this stuff is pretty fragile. If you go ahead and do this way, we'll do that same thing. And it just creates a nice balloon shape all the way around. Do you remember back when we used paste, Mrs. Runyon?
Yeah.
When they had a big old tub of paste and you'd go and get it.
The teacher would scoop some out on a little piece of cardstock.
Cardstock, and you'd have to go and ladle it out or whatever. And I can imagine that would be really good for this, but it'd be also really messy. Tub of paste. Whoever made this invention sure did a good job for us teachers, that's for sure. And students as well. Now as we go, I'm going to double check and just make sure the seams are good. And we'll go ahead and put our glue away. This is a good place to pause while we go to the next step. Okay, this is next. So what we're going to do is a couple things. We're going to do, well, I guess we're going to do the top of the balloon next. So we've got the glue set aside. We've got some paper. Mrs. Runyon, you were going to show them how to do this. That's a really good idea.
You could trace around a piece of tape or a roll of tape to do your circle, but I want to do it by folding. So it's already folded in half, and I folded it again, and I'm going to fold it one more time, kind of like when you fold things to make a snowflake or something. So that's all, and then if I just cut that with a little bit of a curve, as far out as I can, without, so all of that is, that made a whole circle. That might be bigger than we even need.
No, we need it as big as we can make it.
And then you unfold it, and you have a great big circle.
And awesome. And I just saw that. I think that's a great idea. And if you don't like the rounded circle, if that, I mean, you don't have to have a round circle. I've had kids do a big triangle. But you could have just cut it straight, and it still would have worked out just fine. So we've got this part. So now it's all dry. We've checked it. We've made sure that this thing works. Remember the T that I was going to put on the top? Here's my T to show me which side the top is. And now we're going to go ahead and open this thing up like this here. And what we're going to do is go ahead and I'll take this from you, Mrs. Runyon. And we're going to go ahead and just, we still have to be a little careful with it. We don't want to, tear it, but we need to get it down here so that we can get to the top like this. Okay, so I pushed it down kind of flat, a little bit smooshy, just like this here. And then we're going to take some glue, and you want
me to put glue around the circle?
Yeah, go ahead and put some around the circle. We don't want to do any on the very center because we don't want it to glue to the bottom of the balloon. So I'm going to load up some glue here. And it's okay if it's a little crinkled, that's just fine. It'll work great, but what we want is a really good seal. Because if you may have watched the video about hot air balloons, it's not about the air going into the balloon. What it is when we get hot and we heat the air inside the balloon, it creates air flowing out of the nozzle and makes it fly. So that's what we do, is we get that air, the heated air comes out of the bottom. Okay, so we've got that here like this. We go ahead and press it down so that it has a nice seal all the way around. Now I've made a big deal about making these seals perfect, and we've done a great job. But if you have a couple of holes here and there, it'll still fly. It just won't fly as high. And notice that we have one here that just kind of decided to work its way. So we'll be doing this several times just to make sure before we actually go out and fly it that it's all sealed. Okay, that's that part. All right, now we're going to worry about the mouthpiece. And so with this one here, we want to, let's use some tape. Just small pieces is fine. We're just going to tape this up. You could glue it if you wanted, or you can staple it. We're just going to put a little bit of tape on these.
So it doesn't matter if this part's a little bit heavier.
No, in fact, it's actually kind of good because it makes a little bit of a ballast. The one I did back in Georgia when I learned how to do this, at that training that I went to, I thought, oh man, I just want it to be lighter so that it would fly higher. And yes, it did fly high. I made my mouthpiece out of tissue paper, and it did fly, but it just spun like this. And if I would have followed the instructions, it would have gone higher. Okay, so what we have to do, I need to bring the launcher up here so you can see it. And I want to just double check and make sure that works. Just go over here. No, okay, so we're going to, I took it right out of the camera. So let's see here. We're going to just slide this out of the way for a minute because you need to see this part. I'm going to double check it real quick. Yeah, that works great. Okay, what we need to do with this one is we need to measure how far around this needs to go. And so I've got my pen here, Mrs. Runyon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this like this here, and I want it to go loosely over this part here, and then I'm going to have my partner make a mark so that we can, I'll go back to the table. We're going to go ahead then and tape this part just like that. Okay, so as you can see it, we've got, it's got to have this channel all the way around. Okay, so Mrs. Runyon, would you grab the balloon that we had? And what we're going to do on this one, it really does, this one I haven't figured out how to do it by myself, so even if you're doing this on your own, you're going to have somebody's help for this one. Yeah, we've got some hole there, but we might be tearing that a little bit. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to look at this and see. You notice that the hole is a little smaller than where we're at. So we're going to trim off, just based on what we have there, we're going to trim off about 1.5 inches off of this around here. And then it's likely that some of your seams will get messed up here. And that's why I didn't worry too much about it yet. Because we'll do one more look at before we fly it to make sure all of the holes are glued and tight. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Let's check it again, make sure this is going to work. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this way. And I want to put the balloon inside right here. And I'm going to have you staple it right there between my fingers. You need to come down a little farther so it goes through the tissue paper. There we go. And we'll just keep going around. And this is kind of where we'll make sure that those seams get nice and put together. Very nice. Now, if you get doing this and your balloon is either too big or too small for the nozzle that you just measured, if it's too big, go ahead and tear it a little bit. You'll come back and fix those holes. If it's too small, then, if it's too big, you can
kind of bunch it up.
So that it fits in there. I couldn't remember if I said too small or too big.
Yeah, I think the first time you said it wrong. So if the hole on the balloon is too small, then you need to cut up a little farther or tear it open a little bit.
Yeah, I would, and you know me, I'd probably just tear it a little bit and then I'll come back and repair it. It looks like our hole was just a little bit larger. I'd rather have it that way personally than the other.
Oh, I guess you go up a little farther probably.
I think it hit it.
Okay.
And right where we were having problems with that hole, it's kind of bunched up there. So it might not be as big of a deal as we thought it might. We can still fix it now though.
Just gonna tuck that in a little bit better.
There we go.
Oh, to overlap them in there. Let me just have some green over here.
Okay, now we'll check it to make sure, but the very last thing that we do is make sure that it fits. I'll move the table out of the way and we'll just kind of double check here. I have to come over here by the camera, I think. And we're going to just double check and make sure that it fits over nicely. We want it to be loose so that when we turn on the torch, it'll fill up with air and it just fills up. And we'll just have to go through. It looks like this is going to be just awesome and ready to go. So now we just need to look for a calm day, preferably cold. And we're good to go. All right. Thanks for watching.